Lights max, loading plays like he's drawn the plan. Kinetik bringing fire like he's leading the band. No matter the game, no matter the sport, we running this pod like it's fourth and short. Press start, lock in, it's game time again. You tune in live to the sideline show with Kinetik and Lights max. Let's go, the gamer sideline starts now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Gamers Sideline, where the sticks meet the sports meet the sticks, and stories get picked deep in a minute. I'm your host, Mike, aka Lichmax, and with me today is
Kinetik.
we got some news for you. As you've probably seen, some of the logos and banners of the channel have changed a little bit. We're working on a little bit of a rebrand. We're going to Between the Hashes. That's what the new channel is going to be called. It's still the same place. We're just changing it around a little bit, kind of give more of a professional look to it, and moving forward into this new year, giving you guys a little bit a new chapter of this channel. As we're starting to grow, we want to try to give like seem more professional in the space, and we're going to work on getting better at this whole thing as a whole. Hopefully, my English will improve, but who knows what the year has in store for us. Kinetik, before we hit the topics, do you have anything that you want to add on before we get started?
No, just that I think that we've got to, with the season's almost over, we've really kind of taken this opportunity to sort of look in the rear view and really take stock of what happened with our teams and with the sport in general. And I think some of our content going forward, at least in the immediate future, is going to be touching on that. And I think it's just a good time to do that. So let's just have fun with it.
Right. So we got topics. We're going to be talking a little bit, touching a little bit on the next iteration of the football games, and then there's a big game that's going to be played on Monday, the national championship for the college football league. We'll be touching on what makes either team a potential national champion candidate. So I guess starting right off, and then after all that, we're going to open it up for you, the fans, to come up and give your opinions on what you think of the game that's going to be played on Monday. Or if you want to talk about the next iteration of football games, feel free. It's an open forum after we get through our topics. Starting off with the first one. So with Madden 27 and CFB 27 around the corner, who do you think will be the next cover athletes? For CFB 26, I got my two picks, I would say, gotta be Mendoza, or not Mendoza. Sorry, he's not coming back. I had this written down. But Bryce Underwood and Dante Moore are my two picks to be the next cover athletes for the CFB 27. As for Madden, I gotta say Drake May, or potentially, maybe we might see an appearance of a Lion. Maybe Jared Goff, maybe Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra had a great season. We might see him on the cover. It's entirely possible. We saw Saquon on one. Maybe we can see Amon-Ra on one. But I think realistically, we're bound to see Drake May. But Kinetik, what do you think?
So, as much as I would like to say Bryce Underwood, I don't think that he had the type of year statistically or any kind of statement wins to warrant him being the main cover athlete. And so when we're talking about cover athletes, I want to be clear. We're talking about the, CFB 25 had Quinn Ewers, Donovan Edwards, and Travis Hunter. 26 had Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith. Obviously, there were the other covers, the group covers that had like larger groups of people, in which Bryce Underwood was featured on CFB 26. We're not talking about the group pictures. We're talking about the primary cover athletes. And I don't think that, as much as I like Bryce, I don't think that he did enough this year statistically to warrant being one of the primary guys. So I do think you're correct on Dante Moore. I think Dante Moore is, in my opinion, a shoo-in to be one. He's, started for Oregon, who was a national champion favorite all year long. He's a sophomore going into, I think, his junior year, redshirt junior year. He had an up and down season, but I mean, he still had 3,500 yards, which was top 15 nationally, 30 touchdowns, which was sixth, tied for sixth nationally, only 10 interceptions, and like a 72% completion percentage or something like that. And he was poised to be the number 2 pick in the draft at worst. And there were even some places that were projecting him ahead of Mendoza in the draft until his most recent game in the playoffs where he just had a bad game. But that almost guarantees with him coming back that he's going to be one of the highest profile athletes in college football. And if we look at their convention for cover athletes the last 2 years, he would fit that bill. A former 5-star recruit from Detroit, started a year for UCLA, then went and redshirted a year behind Dylan Gabriel to Oregon, took over starting last year, and is coming back for his second year as a starting quarterback at Oregon. I think that he's exactly the type of rising star, probably the favorite to be the number 1 pick in the 27 draft. So it absolutely makes sense for him to be on the cover. The other one, though, I mean, I could go with, Arch Manning or someone like that. The thing is that one of the other conventions that EA has done with CFB 25 and 26 is they want guys at different positions. For the most part. I mean, well, I guess if it's true for 25, not true for 26, but 26 was a little weird because you had 2 breakout freshman wide receivers. So they had Williams and Jeremiah Smith on there. But I feel from everything I've seen, they want to sort of vary the positions. So my second cover athlete, who I think will share the cover with Dante Moore, is going to be the breakout true freshman phenom at wide receiver for the Miami Hurricanes, and that's Malachi Toney. I am a huge fan of this kid. Toney, in my opinion, is a no-brainer to put on the cover, especially with him playing in the national championship on Monday. So as a true freshman, he led all freshmen, true freshmen and redshirt freshmen in receptions. I think he had 99 receptions nationally. He was 4th overall. So a true freshman, 17 years old, was 4th in the country in receptions, had over 1,000 receiving yards, averaged 72.6 yards per game and receiving yards per game, had 9 touchdowns, and was the only freshman in FBS football to eclipse 1,000 yards, which shattered the ACC true freshman receptions record and earned him ACC Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, and FWAA Offensive Freshman of the Year, and CBS Sports Freshman of the Year awards. He also had 113 rushing yards and a touchdown, plus he returned punts. He's so electric. He's so fun to watch. And I just think he's going to be sort of the breakout star going into next year's season. So I think him and Dante Moore on the cover make all the sense in the world.
I'd be able to get behind that for sure.
So with Madden, I think it's pretty easy, and I don't have to go in as detail here. Drake May, second year in the league, breakout star of the season. I think he's an easy option. The more I think about it, though, I almost think that they're going to go in a different way. I think they're going to go with Matthew Stafford, especially if the Rams win the Super Bowl this year and Stafford gets his second Super Bowl win. I think Stafford's the guy. He's at 37 years old. He's having arguably his best statistical year. 4,700 passing yards, which was first in the NFL. 109.2 QB rating. First in the NFL in passing touchdowns as well with 46 at 37 years old. And this isn't a season where prior to the start of the season, we weren't sure he was even going to play because there was reports of him having issues with his back, and he missed preseason. He lost one of his top targets in Cooper Kupp. And again, what he's done this year has been just absolutely phenomenal. This is the final year and probably the only year remaining that they would be able to have Matthew Stafford as the guy. I feel like Drake May has the next 10 to 15 years that they'll be able to put him on the cover 3 or 4 times. So I think if I was going to put money on it, it's Matthew Stafford.
I think that's entirely possible. I mean, I'd be more inclined to see May than Stafford, especially if the Patriots go on to win the Super Bowl. I think May's a shoo-in, but I think you're right. I think it's going to come down to the Super Bowl victor. That's more likely who they're going to put on it, unless it's someone who just kind of got lucky getting to the Super Bowl. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see. If I had to put money on it, I'd probably say Drake May.
That's fair. I think Drake May is an awesome candidate for it. I just think the timing, him being 37, he may retire after this year. He may come back for one more year. Best statistical year, first in the NFL on touchdowns, passes, first in the NFL on touchdown or passing yardage.
Yeah.
Possible Super Bowl run after losing one of his top 2 targets. I just think the timing to me says Matt Stafford.
It's entirely possible. I mean, it'd be nice to see a former Lion there, even if the Lions can't get there on their own. Moving forward, let's talk about the football game, our feature wish list for the upcoming football games. For me, we're gonna do 2 and 2, 2 for college, 2 for Madden, 1 gameplay, 1 mechanic. So for my gameplay, for both of them, really, it's going to be the ability to have more control of the offensive line and being able to kind of have assign your blocks the way that you want them rather than just slide left, slide right, base or empty. Like I would like to be able to assign a pulling guard, for example, on run plays to where, like, if you want to have like your tackle swoop in and pick up the center, have your center swoop out, whatever. I want the ability to be able to do that on your own. Kind of like how the defense can stunt and twist. I want the offense to be able to do something similar post snap. Like you can set it up pre snap, but have it happen post snap. Kind of like that. Anyway, you understand what I'm saying. It's kind of like stunts and twists, but for the offensive line. As for gameplay feature, the ability to reset a already played game in the franchise and dynasty. There have been so many times where, like, you get to the halftime and the game kicks you out and it saves the game state. So when you get back to the franchise screen or dynasty screen, it shows that you lost by whatever score you guys were at the time. So you can't even go, like, even though both of you want to replay it, you can't even go and do that now because you have to reset, because you can't reset the game. Ultimately, I would want to be able to reset a week, but as a consolation, I would take the ability just to reset a game, in Dynasty and franchise. Those are my 2 picks for feature wish lists. Kinetik, what about you?
Real quick, just as an add-on to one of yours, I think that an easy and small fix would be allow us to set a force win on a game, even if it's already been played. So, like, if something happens that's not supposed to happen, we run online leagues and a game gets played and something wasn't done properly and we need to force a specific win, even though the game's already saved. Let the force win that we set override the results of the game that's already been played, if needed. That's something that I think would be great. So I've got my 2 for college, but I just thought of a third, so I'm going to have to give 3. So real quick, wish list for college football, dynamic pipelines. Dynamic pipelines are huge in my opinion because we had them in old NCAA games, okay? It was a system, and I may not be quoting the system properly because it's been 10, 15 years, right? But it was something along the lines of, or how I would like to see it implemented in the next game. Right now, a team has up to 10 pipelines, right?
Right.
I feel like what they should do is they should have a school have 3 to 5 static pipelines that don't change. So, for example, Michigan, their best pipelines are Michigan, Ohio, I think Illinois, California, and, like, I don't know, one of the Florida ones or something. I don't know. Have those be static. They don't change. But let the other 5 be dynamic pipeline slots. And this would work similar to how they worked in the old games. So, and this is just spitballing here, it could be tweaked or whatever, but let's say for every 3 to 5 recruits you have from that pipeline on your active roster, that gives you a tier of pipeline in that pipeline. So like if I've got 7 players from East Texas, well, that gives me a 1-tier pipeline in East Texas as long as I have those players on the roster. If at some point when they graduate and now I only have 2 players from East Texas, well, then I don't have that pipeline anymore. But if I heavily recruit East Texas and I've got 15 players from that pipeline, well, then I have a 3-tier pipeline because I have an active pipeline there. And I think that while it wouldn't be a perfect fix is one of the biggest problems in the game. A lot of us like to do small school rebuilds, right? Like I'm currently doing one with Delaware. Delaware has like 3 pipelines and they're tier 1. They have no other pipelines. So It doesn't matter if I have 17 winning seasons and 2 national champions and 3 or 4 top 5 recruiting classes. I never get better pipelines. It needs dynamic. So even if I get that team up to a 4-star team, it's not the same as playing as Michigan or Texas or Arizona State or Miami or whatever, because their pipelines are always going to be better. So that's my biggest thing. Number 2, coach mode. True coach mode. In both games, and this is for both games. There's a very weak coach mode. You can turn auto pass on, which means if you snap the ball and you don't touch anything, the computer will choose the target and throw the ball. They'll control the players. But it's not good because it takes a second for it to recognize you're not doing anything. So for example, it really messes up on screenplays because from screenplays, you really have to be like dropping back to throw right from the snap of the ball. So the CPU doesn't do that well with auto pass on. But it's also very clunky and it just needs improvement. And the way you improve it is you just go back and take the feature from the old NCAA games. What it allowed you to do was literally you could set prior to a game, if you and I are going into a game, or CPU or user, we can literally just set coach mode. And what that means is we go in, we still call the plays, we can still audible, we can still set hot routes, but when we hit X or A to snap the ball, we have 0 control. At that point, it is the same as watching a slow sim game. We call the plays, the players play them. Let that be a setting that we can go into the game with it turned on. That is right from jump. Not right now. If you and I were to play, we have to first trust each other that the other person's not controlling their players. There's no way to regulate that. And like I said, it's not intuitive. Make it an actual game mode that you can choose to do before the game. Make it something that both players have to select in order to enable it. I don't care. My point is put it back in the game. We had it before, put it back in the game. For Madden, the second one is going to be importable draft classes. We had it before. I know why we didn't have it the last 2 years. NIL issues. I feel like we should have figured out a plan by now. Make it so that we can import players. How is me being able to import a draft class from the NCAA game where the players are getting paid any different than me being able to create my own draft class and put it up for people to download with actual live players? Like, it's stupid. It's not like we should be able to find a legal way around this. Make it so we have importable draft classes. And then I'll be honest, I forgot what that third one was, so I'll save that for when we do the video.
So next on the list is football. Our wish list for needed fixes for the upcoming football games. So for we're gonna do the same thing, 2 and 2, 2 for college, 2 for Madden. My 2 college are going to be AI, improved the AI, so that way they actually like play specifically on defense, I think, because I want them to be able to play these uh defenses the way they're supposed to be. So for example, we have a lot of issues with match coverage. Sometimes they match, sometimes they don't. And if you stem a zone, that shouldn't kill the match. That should not kill the match. That should only affect the zone portion of the match. It shouldn't just make the whole play static just because you stem one zone or you stem your safeties back. It shouldn't kill the match. Cover 9 has also been a huge issue in cover 6 because the AI doesn't play either of those correctly, and half the time it doesn't play the three rec hook correctly, where the running back will roll out to the 3 rec side, but he won't follow the running back, even though it's on his side and that's his job. So AI improvements specifically on the defense. I think there could be some minor tweaks on offense, but I think all in all, the offense is all right. I know we have some issues with some screen passes where players just kind of get jumbled up because the blockers don't follow their pathing for whatever reason. But I think that but the majority of the issues come out of the defense, with them not playing the play correctly to where it requires players to play a linebacker to be able to cover zones because the AI doesn't cover them properly half the time. That would be my fix for both Madden and college. That's a 2-for-1. For college, I think one fix that we need is the net code fix. We need to not have so many dropouts mid-game for no reason at all. So let's beef let's beef the servers up for the game so it can actually handle the players on the game. I think that's an important fix. On Madden, we haven't had that issue. So my proposed fix on Madden that we really need is I had one and then I lost it. No, I already fixed that. Yeah, I'll have to come back to this one. Kinetik.
Yeah, so my fixes here are going to be I've got more than 2, but that's because I've got like every fix I'm about to go over is in both games. Okay, so the ones I'm going to touch on here, I want better and more customizable AI settings. So what I mean by that is in Madden, give us back the aggressiveness settings. Give us the AI adaptability settings like what we have in college football, and further expand those out. There was a lot of confusion this year on whether AI adaptability was how your team plays or how the CPU plays against you. Is it offense and defense, or is it just defense? Because they're the way that they're labeled, it feels like just defense, and there's still not a consensus on what each one does. Like they just have them labeled balance, pressure, reactive schemer, mad scientist, but what do they actually do? So make that clearer, make it more customizable, and then allow us to set for the slow sim community, the ones that like the sim leagues, allow us to more easily customize our AI settings for our team and how they're going to play in the game. Like for example, I like the trait system in Madden, where we can make someone be more of a hero ball, try to put it into tight windows, run for the sidelines or slide and try to get the extra yardage or whatever. Like let us be able to customize the traits and the abilities for the players and how the AI works in the game. And then also to that, custom playbook integration. So one of my biggest frustrations so far this season is that I've gotten into custom playbooks. One of the biggest problems with custom playbooks is that there's a couple different problems with them, but the biggest one for me is you can't set them as your default playbooks in your scheme for your coach. This means that if you fast sim, like sim week to week, you can't use your custom playbook. It means that you cannot set your playbook you can't set auto or formation subs, which is one of the new features that they added in this year. You can't use them with custom playbooks because you can, like, your formation subs are set with the playbook that's set in your scheme. And since you can't set your custom books in your scheme, then you can't set formation subs with them. Now, yes, there is a bit of a workaround, but it is so annoying having to go through every stock defensive book in the game, do your formation subs for the formations that are in each of those books individually, then go out, change your scheme book, go back in, do them for that book, go out, change your scheme book, and have to do that for every book just so it applies to all of the formations in your custom book. Just make it so we can set our custom book as our scheme book. This shouldn't be hard. And then the other problem that fixes is for someone like me that plays in sim leagues. If you and I are in a sim league for user games, if I'm hosting it, I can set my custom book, but you can't play with your custom book. So it's not fair for me to be able to use a custom book and you have to use a stock book. So in user v user games, we can't use custom books. That's the only way to make it fair. If we could set them as our scheme book, then even if you're hosting, my team can have the custom book set, right? So like make it so we can set our custom books as our scheme books. I also think that there should be a league-wide setting that we can set specific parameters for custom books, like a minimum of 200 plays in the book. All plays have to be rated, something along those lines. That way you can't cheese the book with only, the best 5 plays, the best 5 glitch or cheese plays in every scenario or whatever. Bonus quick thing while I'm thinking about it, league-wide custom settings for being able to set auto progression or not auto progression, auto coach progression or not. And a quick bonus one that because I'm just thinking of it. College football, fix auto recruiting. Why does a computer team recruit just fine, but a user team that turns on auto recruiting recruits like a FCS school? Like, this is stupid. Anyways, the next one I have written down, building and improving on coach talent trees. College football, increasing the cap to 100 was great. Doubling the level cap, but increasing the cost of every ability by 40% defeats the purpose. It's absolutely stupid. Put the cost back to what it was for talents back in CFB 25. Keep the level cap at 100. There was no reason to cancel out 90% of the change of level cap by increasing the cost of everything. The other thing is, give us a way to respec. Accidents happen. You accidentally spend points on a talent that you didn't mean to spend it on, or your strategy and whatnot evolves over time. Allow us to respec. Maybe it's a one-time free respec. Maybe it's a 2-time free respec. Maybe it's unlimited. I don't care. But give us the option, because it feels like crap starting off as one thing and then going through a league, going through 5-6 seasons and wishing that you could go back and change it. But the only way to change it is to just delete your coach and start a new one. Give us the option of being able to respec our talent points. And then
that was actually going to be one that I was going to say too, was that ability to respec in both leagues,
and then
in both Madden and college football.
And this is something you and I have talked about before, touched on before on our gaming review. True separation of simulation to competitive. We already have the ability to turn it from arcade to competitive to simulation. If it's simulation, we should not have 17, 18 drops per game per receiver. That doesn't happen in real life. We shouldn't have...
Unless you're Samaj Morgan.
Well, even Samaj Morgan, his numbers in real life are like, you could get his season numbers in one game.
Yeah, that's for sure.
The number of interceptions is insane. Like, I see QBs routinely on default sliders throwing 4, 5, 6 interceptions a game. It's insane. I understand that that's what the competitive Ultimate Team players want. Fine. But we already have the ability to change the basic parts of simulation to arcade to competitive. How about we change the what do they call it? The coefficients for the different things for simulation or for the AI. Why don't we put a hard partition between simulation and competitive? Like, why does there have to be this bleed over effect that because Ultimate Team players want crazy interceptions and receivers to not be able to catch everything, why does that have to bleed over into simulation and be unrealistic? Like, there's no reason for that. So those are my fixes.
Yeah, because as it stands, you have to have basically a 99 catching to be able to guarantee you catch the ball half the time.
Right.
But if you want to hear more about like what our predictions, what our wish lists, what we believe needs fixing in the next games, make sure you stay tuned because we're going to be making a video going over just those topics and maybe even going more in depth as to who we chose, about who we chose and why we chose them as the cover athletes for the next games. Moving forward, we're going to hit we're going to go into this segment, which was called the film room. We're going to go over the previous game film of both Natty teams, starting with Indiana, unless you want to start with Miami. Which one do you want to do first?
Up to you, brother.
All right, we'll hop into Indiana here. Yeah. So this is the drive that really made Dante Moore look bad. So first play of the game.
Okay,
snap.
Before we watch this, pause this real quick. There is a narrative going around. And it may or may not have been started by Ryan Day's brother, but that there is talk that Indiana and Cignetti have supposedly been hacking into cloud-based stuff that I forget the name of the service that all
Huddle?
of the teams use. No, it's not Huddle. It's called something else. Where they have like their game film, their practice film, and their scripted drives, and there's this narrative that like if you go back and look at Indiana's like games throughout the season, they always have their big dominant plays, interceptions, and like their jumping routes and jumping protections in the first couple drives of a game, and that's where they're separating because they know the scripted drives for the other team. And here's the first play of the game, and it's happening. So I don't know. I'm not saying that Cignetti's doing it. I'm as a Michigan fan, I'm definitely not going to start throwing around the sign stealing thing because sign stealing is legal. But I just want to be aware as we watch this that narrative is a thing.
Right, because like first drive, first play of the game, interception, runs it back. Pick six. Now, does that look like it was scripted, or just a guy? Or does that look like they knew what was going on, or just a guy in the right place at the right time?
Back it up. Let's watch the defender. Okay, so it's number 5 right here on the bottom.
I'm gonna slow it down.
Yeah, it's number 5 right there on the bottom of the screen, in between the 25 and 30. Watch him. Does it seem like he knows the play?
Looks like he was in the right place at the right time. Because if you look right there, like he went from here, dropped back.
Okay, real quick, back it up. I want to watch Dante Moore's eyes here because watching the defender, it looks like he's reading the quarterback's eyes. Let's see if Dante Moore stares down his target.
All right. Which it looks like right there.
Yeah,
Dante Moore's
already
looking this way.
Yeah,
it's already looking this way.
Now, does he try to look him off or does he stare him down?
Still looking.
He hasn't moved his head. No, he didn't move his head once.
Now
he's from the snap. He was looking over here and he didn't look off. He didn't like at all. So
like you can see, like he sees it. He sees it. He sees it. They all know. These three all know what's still going on. Yeah, whole team knows what's going on. Look at them all. Look at them all. Looking at Dante. Look at him. Look at him. Looking. Dante only sees this guy.
Now, I'm a big Dante Moore fan, if I was trying to put money on whether or not the defense knew the play or if they just read the quarterback's eyes who didn't take his eyes off of the one route that's on that side of the field, I would say this is on Dante.
This looks like a zone coverage. He's dropping back into a zone. He's in his zone. These guys are all in zones. This guy right here, it looks like he's playing a flat, and he's looking at Dante, looking at Dante, looking at Dante. Dante, he doesn't see any of this. He only sees this.
Right.
Because as he throws, you see it. He's coming in, interception. And then he's off.
Yeah. So I don't think this was the case of they knew the play based on what we just saw. But the fact that Dante stared down his receiver doesn't necessarily mean that they didn't know the play.
Then here's the next drive.
Wait, no, this is a replay of that interception.
Oh, okay. So yeah, here's the replay of that interception. I think they're going to slow it down themselves, so I probably don't need to have it on. So they see it. Yeah, because if you look, see, he sees. He's on a speed out. He's watching. Dante's eyes never go off. Never go off of him. Just right place, right time, following the read.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
All right. Yeah, I think this is the next drive here. It's a good stop. Not really a stop, but you know what I mean.
Is that game on? I thought Keegan. I thought it was still the Broncos Bills.
The
Really like
one thing that I'm
like Dante better than Mendoza for long-term prospect.
right. And I mean Mendoza's going with the NFL, so I mean we won't have to worry about Mendoza next season. But one thing I do like how Indiana does their defense. They try to keep everything in front of them. You know,
Right.
They don't want to don't try to let big plays happen if they can help it. I mean, it does sometimes lead to touchdowns like there, but they had to work. Look at the time here. Like first play of the game was like 15 seconds, and now they're at 7-11. So we went from 15 minutes all the way down to 7 minutes of them trying to drive down the field. So Indiana kept everything in front of them throughout this entire drive, using up as much time as possible to control the clock. That's one thing that Indiana's been doing great with this season is clock management, getting a lead and then making sure that they control the time of each drive on the field. And their defense is extremely is set up to be able to do that because they keep everything in front of them. They do their best to not let big plays happen. It's kind of like bend but don't break, but more of a better structure for it because they do keep everything locked in as best they can. And then when they get on offense, they make all of these plays that you wouldn't think that would be possible, like that one right there. That was primed to get knocked out, and he held on to it phenomenally. Even with all of what was going on, there should have been some defensive pass interference maybe right there, but I mean they probably would have declined it anyway. But I mean they've been doing a lot of this stuff, playing phenomenally all year, even without the what people would call the blue chip ratio. I mean they just picked up good people in the portal and they put them on a team and coached the hell out of them. I think I think in this national championship game, it's really going to come down to who can get control of the clock first. Because I think both teams have done a pretty decent job of controlling the clock when they're on the field. So if I had to bet, I'd bet that's probably what it's going to come down to is who can control the clock. Came in like a spider monkey or a fly.
I just want to say, like, one of the things that really bothers me with quarterbacks, and I know it's like an irrational thing because like every quarterback does it, even the elite ones, but it's just the like all quarterbacks do that little like pat the ball right before they throw it, and like I know all quarterbacks do it, but like it just bugs me because there's some that do it in such a like a
You mean like Mahomes? You mean like Mahomes, or like, when he's running, he's like
doing away, and like I listen. It's a stupid critique because, like I said, nearly every great quarterback did it as well. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, all of them did it. But like, I don't know. I didn't play DB, okay, but doesn't that like signal, like telegraph to the DBs, like, okay, he's about to throw. Where's he looking? Let's jump the route. Like, I know it's like a split-second thing. And I know,
unless you're Matthew Stafford, then you could be looking at one route and throw it to a totally different route.
But I'm just saying, like, but like, why do they pat the ball? Like, why do they like they'll be holding it and they'll go every time? I don't get it.
See, now that was if that play right there. Hang on, let's back this up. If this had worked out the way that it worked out better. Like that whole jumble right there, and if he would have got it off, that would have been play of the year.
Throw it away right there.
Well, I know, but I mean, like if he was able, I think he was still trying to make a play happen. But if this play had worked out after all of this,
I feel like
that would have been play of the year. Yeah, like here, right? See, throw it away. No, wait,
right here.
Throw it away right here.
Right there. He's open. Throw it away.
Yep, throw it away right here.
Like, why are you keeping it right here? Because you lost the guy that's behind you. You don't know where he's at. You see the guy coming down, and there's nobody open. Throw it to the sideline.
Right. Like I think he was trying to make something happen, but yeah, no, he wasn't.
Keegan, are you talking about the one I sent you earlier that I responded to you?
The Moboa?
No.
Oh.
We got. I don't know if it's Isia or Aisi Moa. Salisi's brother.
I don't know why I said Momoa. Yeah, Moa. It's just Moa. Yeah, I think
you can talk about him if you want, but if you're talking about the other one that I mentioned to you earlier. Now this one, look, okay, so this right here, they're going to do a replay, I think, after this, or they did on the broadcast. This isn't entirely Dante Moore's fault. So their starting running back was injured, and if it shows the heads-on camera angle, he like the running back runs into his arm as he's going back and like knocks it out. So like that's not on Dante.
Yeah, here we go.
All right, watch. See? Like that's on the running back.
Yeah, there goes the ball right over. I like how Dante Moore just like his hands clench. I still got the ball. Don't worry, guys. I got it.
Keegan, I'll be honest with you, man. I don't know anything about that guy. Shit. He's a lower level depth piece. I don't necessarily think it's worth going into.
Was the running back supposed to take the ball there? Is that maybe what was going on?
No, it was not. It was supposed to be like a pseudo play action without the actual fake handoff. Like he just kind of like went like that and then went to throw it, and the running back. There's no reason for him to do the play action, like grab the ball motion, because like Dante's already facing away from him. So there was no reason for his arm to be up here. He should have just been like leaning this way away from Dante.
Right. I mean, like, and you know, that does give me an interesting idea for a play, like similar to like what messed up here, but actually like just hand it off like that. Like you reach back to throw the ball and just have the running back just grab it, like how he's about to do here. He
wasn't supposed to. Like see right here.
Yeah.
So the problem is that the running back like does this motion with his arms, because so on a normal play action, when the quarterback's like holding the ball and he like looks like he's handing it off, the running back is supposed to go like this to look like he's taking the ball, right?
Yeah, and
So
the running
this
back
isn't that though. This is more does a little fake like he's turning that way and then turns to throw it. And the running back, like there's no reason for him to do that motion because there's no handoff motion.
See,
and
instead of
that's
him
what he
being
did
like
here, and his arm up here as he's like extending the arm out, that's what hits the ball. Like that's why I say this is on the running back, because since this isn't a normal play action, there's no reason for him to make this motion. He should have just seen Dante going to throw and went like this with his body as he's running.
Yeah, instead of coming in like in this kind of alignment, he should have come in a more straight alignment, because that would have stopped this whole situation.
Right. But this one's not on Moore, in my opinion.
Right, but it is a touchdown for Indiana. That is what's important. I mean, and Indiana's red zone has been phenomenal. I mean, look at that. Just roll out the red carpet for them. Like, they've been doing really good.
Was that Hemby? Because I've been a big fan of Hemby since he was at.
I think that was
Hemby. Where was he at the season before? It was like Maryland or no, never mind. That was Black. That was
no, it was Black. Kalen Black.
I like Roman Hemby a lot. I liked him. He was at like Liberty or Maryland or something in 25, and I really enjoyed watching him there. I think he'll be good.
So I guess let's roll over to a little bit of the Miami stuff.
All right.
Let's talk about Miami. Oh, I gotta edit the page.
Gotta mute it. Sort of new to all this. All right, so let me know if there's anything specific. This is more of a cut-up highlight film than a play-by-play.
Right.
So this is already just going to be like the highlights from the game itself.
I can't believe they let that happen.
Right. I mean, Kwan Lacey. He's really good, really good.
I mean, like,
watch Malachi Toney, the wide receiver I was telling you about earlier. From Miami. Kid is, I believe he's 17, or if he's not, he turned 18 during the season.
Like, I will say, if Miami makes those kinds of mistakes against Indiana, it's gonna kill them. They have to be locked in. They got to be disciplined on that line.
Right.
Because they make one mistake, Indiana's just gonna hit that mistake over and over again.
And the Ole Miss kicker, he's been good all season, and he missed kicks in this game that he normally doesn't miss.
Is that like the only kick he hit?
I don't know if it was the only one, but he missed like one or two that he shouldn't have missed. And listen, I am as big of a Carson Beck hater as you'll find, but he played a good game this game.
See, now that was a good dot right there, right to the end zone.
And, I forget Nixon. What's his first name?
I will say I don't think those plays will be open to Beck playing against Indiana, because they do play a lot of deep coverage.
Yeah, see there he made another one. So this is just going to be the scoring highlights, and that's fine.
You missed one.
I mean, this was a shootout. It was a fun game to watch. So, like, even that one he made bounced off the upright. That was a sack. I don't like Carson Beck. Like, if Indiana wins, it's going to be because Carson Beck is an idiot.
I mean, that's entirely possible.
I think that's number 10. I think that's Toney right there. Watch him. Look at him.
He's gonna be a problem for sure.
Yeah. And I love watching this kid. That's why I'm saying I think he's gonna be on the cover. Kid, it was like 17 at least going into the season. He might still be 17. And I mean, the only freshman to have over 1,000 yards, shattered ACC records, all kinds of awards. I mean, dude is just nuts.
Yeah, after that one play, I can tell that kid's going to be a problem for Indiana.
Yeah, because they play so much like over top, and
Yeah.
he is so good at like you let him catch the ball, he's gonna make you miss.
Yeah, he can win those one-on-ones. Like even if they're back-to-back one-on-ones, it like he can definitely he can crack he can what players would say, he can break the ankles.
Yeah. And like he should not be playing against like age-wise, he should not be playing against college players. And he is, and he's dominating.
I do worry like of him taking a huge hit though
I mean,
with how
he's
small
taken
he
hits all
is.
season though.
But I mean, you look at how big Indiana is compared to like the Ole Miss crew here. I mean, that could be a potential problem for him. I mean, yeah, he's played against like big guys all year, but this is national championship. Indiana's not going to take it easy just because it's a Natty. They're going hard because this is the last game of the year. I expect you to be able to hear the collision from the sky cam.
And Miami's pass rush is really good too. Like,
Yeah,
like they should give Indiana a lot of trouble on the line.
that was a wobbly ass football.
I mean, Trinidad Chambliss, a Michigan product, state of Michigan, not University of Michigan.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember seeing a Chambliss. But yeah, I mean, I think so that let's move on to between the numbers. We're going to talk about the team's stat lines and how where we think that they excel at. Like for me, like one thing one thing about Indiana is they have been very much.
Here, while you're talking, I'm just gonna put this up for viewing pleasure while we're talking. Malachi Tony highlights from this season. All right, keep going.
All right, yeah. So I mean, Indiana's kept it pretty even between the passing and rushing, clocking in 3,640 passing yards, and then coming in with 3,275 rushing yards. So they kept it pretty even. Most of those rushing yards come from Roman Hemby, follow up behind with Kalon Black. Those two have been putting up the numbers.
Hemby's good, dude. I like Hemby a lot.
For Miami,
I've liked him since
for Indiana.
before he went to Indiana.
And then the passing attack is obviously come from Fernando Mendoza. They have two Mendozas. I didn't know that. With some help from Alberto Mendoza, which
hold on.
I'm assuming is a relative.
Look at this play. Look at this play real quick. Hold on. All right, watch this. Catches it. Watch. Look at that juke move, dude. It's insane. All right, sorry.
But yeah, I mean they've done really good on both sides of the ball, or on both attacks with the ball. I don't see them slowing down anytime soon. I mean, you can't really pick out whether they're going to be a passing or a rushing team because they've kept it pretty even. So you can't game plan for one or the other. You have to game plan for both. And I don't know if Miami can game plan for both. I think it's either one or the other. Receiving wise, Omar Cooper Jr. has led the team in receiving yards with 866 yards for 64 receptions.
Yeah, but I feel like Surratt's a little bit more of like the dynamic.
For sure,
on Indiana.
For sure, like he's like what could be considered like a slot when it comes to the game, like being able to hit those more technical get open routes, you know. But yeah, I mean,
look at this right here. Look at this route by Malachi Tony. It's going to replay this in just a second.
Because
route.
Surratt has led the team in receiving touchdowns.
All right,
for sure.
Look, watch this route right here. Okay, and imagine this against Indiana. Watch number 10 right here.
think
Like,
Indiana could cover.
he's going to be a problem, dude.
And in Miami, they have 3,819 passing yards.
I just
And
want to point out, Malachi Tony is
2,300
what Samaj Morgan was supposed to be for us.
and they have 2,305 rushing yards. So Indiana can come to this game planning that they're more likely going to be trying to pass the ball more than running it. Because they've got almost 1,000 more, over 1,000 more passing yards than they do rushing yards. So on the paper, it looks like they're going to be more of a passing team than a rushing team. Now, granted, that can change on the field, as we all know. A team can change up their game plan depending on what team they're playing. So we could see Miami keep it on the ground more, knowing that Indiana's pass defense is next level. I mean, they did well against Ohio State, keeping them to only 10 points, completing that game with 13 points to Ohio's 10. And Ohio's predominantly been a passing team. Now, this year they did dabble in the run a bit since they got a decent running back this time around. But for the most part, they've been a passing team. And I know Ohio State fans are going to get miffed in the chat because I keep calling them Ohio. Deal with it. We are Michigan. We are the victors. Deal with it. Y'all won this year. Y'all aren't going to win next year. Now, I kid. Just so y'all know. But anyway,
real quick, watch this right here. Because again, against Indiana, watch this right tackle. So Miami's offensive line is pretty stout. Okay. And this is like a Chip Lindsey dream right here. Watch this. Watch the blocking on that play. Watch the blocking. Boom, block. Boom, block. Block. Like, that's what Indiana's going to have to deal with. Look at that block. Hold on. That angle is crazy. What? Boom. Wow. Sorry, like I said earlier, I'm a huge fan of this Malachi Tony kid, and he's just fun to watch, man.
So I mean that completes my part of Between the Numbers. Do you have anything to add?
No, I mean, as far as the numbers, man, like you hit them all. I think it's going to be interesting how they match up, man. I think it's going to come down to trench play and playmakers. And listen, I know all season long, last season too, you can call me a Cignetti hater. I think Cignetti's good at what he does. I don't think he's the greatest coach of all time. I don't think that this is the greatest football team of all time. And as great as their success has been this year, and I'm not trying to take anything away from them, like, I don't think that you look on paper and Miami has the advantage offensive line against their defensive line. Miami has the advantage defensive line against Indiana's offensive line. Yeah. Playmakers. I'm taking Malachi Tony over any playmaker on Indiana's team. So how much now? I do think Cignetti's a better coach than Mario Cristobal. And I do think Mendoza's a better quarterback than Carson Beck. If Indiana's going to win, I think it has to be on that. It has to be good coaching and smart quarterback play. But if it's left up to athleticism, if it's left up to strength, if it's left up to the playmakers to make plays, I don't see how Indiana beats Miami, man. Unless Beck just has a complete meltdown of a game, which is completely possible with him. I don't know, man.
Right. I think you're right. I think it's going to come down to the trench play. I think it's going to come down to who can control the clock. Do you want to touch on their schemes or move on to the prediction?
I mean, we can touch on it. Let me
I will let you lead this
my notes
section
here.
because I admittedly am not very knowledgeable on this topic, but I do have to go take care of something real quick while you're going, so I will be right back.
Yeah, so and again, I just want to preface this that I'm not the greatest at, at film breakdown. I'm not the greatest at scheme breakdown. Like I'm normally an opinion guy. I do have some notes that I've, from watching the film and what I've noticed with them. And I'm going to go over it, but I'm not the greatest at going in depth on this. So but we've got Indiana, their offense, Cignetti borrowed a lot of his offensive philosophy from Mike Shanahan, and I think you can really see a lot of that. Even going back to when he was at James Madison, it's a very balanced spread offense with very heavy RPO elements. It blends like kind of the veer and shoot with air raid in a lot of ways, and then just incorporates heavy RPOs. I believe that they mostly run out of 11 personnel, and just very quick like transfers on routes and trying to be unpredictable, which opens up for explosive plays. They're very third down efficient, which is great. I mean, that was one of the biggest strengths of Michigan's team in the 23 season. They use a lot of pre-snap motion, play action, and it's just quick fire decisions by Mendoza, which is perfectly playing into Mendoza's strengths. Mendoza's strengths are that he's a very accurate quarterback. He makes great decisions with the ball. He's not necessarily the most athletically gifted or has a cannon for an arm, but it really just highlights his abilities in the offense. And then, he does have weapons. As much as I'm raving about Malachi Toney, Elijah Surratt, Omar Cooper Jr., Roman Hemby, Kalen Black, as Lich Max was touching on, like they are good. They're very good. I've been a fan of Roman Hemby's for a while. I think Elijah Surratt and Omar Cooper are both going to play on Sundays. And they just really fit well in the offense. And as much as I talked about the trenches for Miami, I mean, Indiana has Carter Smith at left tackle. They've got Pat Coogan at center, both of which are phenomenal linemen. But I mean, their offensive scheme, I think, just fits really well with their personnel. And when you can marry those two things, you can really punch above your weight class. And that's what they've been doing all season long. On defense, Indiana's defensive scheme, Bryant Haynes, he's very aggressive. He's very multiple in his looks. He switches from three man fronts to 4-man fronts and back really easily, and just sort of puts the offense in conflict with fire zone, simulated pressures, post snap changes, rotating one high and two high safeties. They had, I think, one of the highest pressure rates in the country, and so Bryant Haynes is a brilliant defensive coordinator. And it really highlights their stars like Mikhail Kamara, their defensive tackle Tucker. They've got a really good linebacker, Aiden Fisher, cornerback D'Angelo Pons. So the scheme it's very fun to watch, and it kind of highlights the star at every level of their defense. It's very effective. That said, I mean, I guess, the Oregon offense is very dynamic the same way that Miami's is. So that is a good sort of barometer. But I don't think that Oregon has a playmaker like Malachi Toney. Now, as I've said repeatedly, Malachi Toney's a very young player. So that inexperience could, come out in the game. But we'll just have to see how that happens. On the other side, though, Miami's offensive line is absolutely phenomenal. Miami runs like an air raid offense that's very pass heavy. I think they were like in the top third of teams in pass attempts. But they don't take unnecessary risks with their passing. And they do support it with a very strong run game. It emphasizes like underneath routes, play action, quick game. It's very pro style in the way that it presents the air raid offense. But it also has elements of like old school run first philosophy too, like getting chunk yardage on runs at key moments. So, again, I'm not the biggest fan of Carson Beck. I feel like he's a very hit or miss player. So the game Monday is going to heavily depend on which Carson Beck shows up. I think he's like just under 50% while being pressured. Man, Malachi Toney, man, and Keelan Marion, they're both such great playmakers. You get the ball to them and just let them make plays, and it can really disguise a lot of Beck's shortcomings, in my opinion. Their running back Fletcher, he's good. He's not necessarily great, but he's very good in the scheme that they run. On defense, so I don't know much about this guy, but Miami's defensive coordinator is Corey Hethman. He's a Greg Schiano disciple. I'm not the biggest fan of Schiano's, but he's very aggressive. His defense is not the standard sort of read and react. It's kind of a proactive defense. It can be a very violent defense for that reason because they're acting instead of reacting. I don't know, man. I like Miami's pass rushing, but they also have a very strong run defense too. So it's going to be interesting to see how Indiana sort of attacks their defense. But I think for Miami, it really comes down to their defensive line. Their linebackers and corners are okay, but it really comes down to their defensive line. Ruben Bain is insane and one of the best players in college football this year. And I think he's going to be a top 5 pick in the draft. And then the other guy, I think in the middle, I don't want to say his name wrong. I think it's Akeem Messidor, is like top 5 in the country on QB pressures. So I think that if Miami's going to win on defense, it's got to be in the trenches. It's got to be getting Mendoza under pressure and getting him off his game. I think that the interesting thing is going to be watching Mendoza's quick decision making on RPOs against Miami's ability to pressure him. That's going to be really the key. And then it's going to be on the flip side, it's going to be how does Indiana's defense account for the run game explosiveness and the run after catch, yards after catch from Malachi Toney and from Marion. So I don't know. We're going to have to see. And I think that special teams, Malachi Toney on special teams on kick returns could be an X factor here.
It's entirely possible. But moving on to the next topic, we're going to talk about our predictions for the game itself. I have gone on record on the Maze Out Monday show and saying that I believe that Indiana will win. I've been saying that since they got in the playoffs, that they were going to make it to the Natty. After the Oregon win, I think it's pretty much solidified that they're going to win the Natty. There's one thing that you know, it's that if you Google Curt Cignetti, you see 2 names. You see Charlie Sheen and you see Curt Cignetti. Both of them.
When you Google winning.
Google winning. Yep, that's right. English is not.
I don't think you're going to see Charlie Sheen if you Google Curt Cignetti.
You might. You never know. They might be best friends. You don't know. But yeah, no. If you Google winning, you're going to see 2 names: Charlie Sheen and Curt Cignetti. Curt Cignetti is exactly what he thought he was. What he told everyone he was. He's a winner. That's what he does. We've seen that all season. He's gone undefeated through the entire season, beating Oregon, beating Ohio State, beating Oregon again for the second time. This time, not only just beating them, but straight up embarrassing them in the playoffs. Along with that, embarrassing Alabama in the playoffs after they beat Oklahoma. And then they went on to face Indiana, and they were not ready for the smoke that was building for them. and they got destroyed. Indiana moved on to Oregon, destroyed Oregon, and here we are in the national championship game where Indiana is set to face off against the Miami Hurricanes. And I don't think Carson Beck, I don't think Cristobal is ready for what Mendoza and Curt Cignetti have prepared for them. And I think it's going to come down to if Indiana gets the lead early, I could see it being a I could see it being a huge spread on the points. I'm gonna say it's gonna be 30. I need to do some math real quick. It's gonna be 30 something. I know I can say that Miami's only going to have maybe 14 points. I think they're only going to get 2 scores.
So I'm a little.
I
bit
think it's
torn
going to
on
be 30
this.
to. I think it's going to be 30 to 14.
I'm a little bit torn on this. I think that because I don't like Carson Beck, and I do think that Indiana's defense is going to make Carson Beck make a few mistakes. That said, again, call me a Cignetti hater. I don't think that this Cinderella story ends with him winning a national title this year. Maybe it's that I don't want to believe it, but it is what it is. I think it's going to be a very physical game. I think special teams is going to be an X factor. I think that Malachi Tony is going to give Indiana's defense fits. And if Miami can get a run game going, if they can limit Beck's potential like turnover worthy plays by doing underneath stuff, getting the ball into the hands of Marion and Tony, and letting them sort of carry the offense, I think that's going to be enough on offense to win the game, because I do think that Miami's defensive line is going to dominate the way that they did Ohio State. I think that similar to how you saw them get Julian Sayin off of his game, they're going to be able to do the same thing with Mendoza. They're going to be able to get Mendoza, who has not really been hit a whole lot all season. I think they're going to be able to rattle him. To use an NFL comparison, if you go look at the stats, let me pull it up real quick. I should be able to pull it up. So shout out to Kay Adams for throwing this out on Twitter. But Jonathan Allen is considered one of the best quarterbacks in the country, right? His win-loss record when he gets hit 6 or more times in a game for the 2025 season, 1-4. Pass touchdowns to interceptions, 6-6 in games where he gets hit 6 or more times. In games where he's hit less than 6 times during the game, he's 11-1. I think that you're going to see something similar with Mendoza. I think he's going to get hit more in this game than he has all season. I think he's going to get rattled, and I think that Miami's going to pull out a win. Now, when I first started looking into this, I thought it was going to be a high-scoring game. My initial prediction was going to be like a 34-28 win for Miami. I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit lower scoring now as I'm sort of breaking it down. I'm going to say it's going to be like a 26 or 27 points for Miami, and it's going to be 21 to 24 points for Indiana. So if I had to put a score on it, let's say 27-24 Miami.
All right. And remember these predictions come Monday, because we're going to be doing a watch along, and then either we or the Maze Madman are going to do a post game show. If we don't do one, just check over at the Maze's channel, because we're probably over there. But yeah, I think those are good, pretty decent predictions. We kept it pretty within reason, without going outlandish with the scores.
Just want to point out real quick.
Yep.
The game is being played in Miami. It's technically a neutral site game, but let's be real. It's going to be a home game for Miami.
But let's also be real. Even Miami fans don't go to Miami.
They will for this one. And they play in an NFL stadium.
That's true. They play at the Dolphin Stadium, right?
Yep. Wait, yeah.
If it's in Miami at an NFL stadium, there's only one NFL stadium in Miami.
Yeah, no, in my mind, I was getting it mixed up for a second, but yeah.
You were thinking Tampa Bay, weren't you?
Yeah, because USF plays there. But yeah, so they play at the Hard Rock Stadium.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have an NFL-sized stadium in Miami for Miami playing in the national championship. You're going to have Michael Irvin coked out on the sidelines, slapping walls with his belt. You're going to have adult film stars in attendance because they're Miami fans. That place is going to be packed with
pretty much all of
fans.
Pretty much all of OnlyFans is going to be in attendance because they're all from Miami.
The crowd is going to be nuts, and it's not going to be 50-50. Like 2 years ago, if I asked you how many Indiana fans were that could Indiana pack half of an NFL stadium, you would have said no. I refuse to believe that they've increased their number of fans in 2 years that are going to travel to Miami and be able to get tickets over Miami fans in Miami. I mean, it's going to be largely in Miami.
I mean, to be fair, also, I mean, there are people who just go for the love of the game, not even to root. Like, they pick a team, they root for that team just because it's the national championship. It's the biggest game in all of college football outside of the game between Michigan and Ohio State, of course. But it is the biggest national game in the sport of college football. So, I mean, there are going to be people there just rooting against Miami. Like, all of Miami's rivals might be there rooting against them for Indiana. Indiana fans are going to be there in their own section in like their own like 1/32 of the stadium. The rest are going to be national championship football fans that are just going to be there supporting whatever team isn't the home team for the most part, you know. So it's going to be a wide variety. It's going to be crazy. I wish that we could go there, but we're not that big yet. Right. We have to pay for our own tickets, and if I'm going to go see not our team playing a Natty, I'm not paying for the tickets. But I mean, if anyone ever wants us to do live coverage at a game, hit us up. Sponsor us to go. We'll be more than happy to cover it. We'll be the best coverage you ever seen. But I digress. I think that does it for our show today. So moving forward, we are going to be switching over to this new branding between the hashes. It's where the game is really played is our new tagline. If you guys like it, let us know. If you like the old if you like the old branding, let us know. Maybe we'll just switch back if y'all don't like it. Just let us know in the comments of our videos. Let us know here if you're watching this back or in the comments right now who you got winning the Natty, Miami or Indiana. And before we get out of here, Kinetik, what you got going on? Tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, so I mean, as usual for me, you can find me everywhere on social media at Kinetik615. I've also got a gaming channel at Kinetik615 Plays, but everywhere else it's Kinetik615 on X, Discord, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, PlayStation, wherever. If there's a platform and you want to know if I'm on it, search Kinetik615. If I'm there, it'll come up. Feel free to shoot me a message. If you can, check out the QR code. It'll take you to my GoFundMe. It should also be in the video description. It's pinned at the top of my X profile. Read through it, check it out, see what I'm going through currently. I'm still in need of help in a bad way for the next couple of months as I try to get to my disability, to keep bills on, keep lights on, keep food on the table, and gas in the car to get myself and my mother to her to my physical therapy and shortly my surgeries, and my mother to her cancer treatments. Can really use any assistance. And if you're not comfortable with donating on GoFundMe, since GoFundMe takes a cut of any donation, just shoot me a message and I'll give you my Cash App or Venmo. I appreciate everybody that's contributed and helped me out over the last year and a half. almost to the finish line, and I just need a little bit of help to get to the end of it. So again, that's everywhere at Kinetik 615.
And as for me, your favorite host, I'm just kidding. As for me, you can find me at LichMax626 everywhere, YouTube, Twitch, X, even on Instagram. If you still use that, I don't really pay attention to it very often. But hey, if you want to hit me up, I do still get notifications. So, but you can find me everywhere at LichMax626. You can find me right here on Between the Hashes. We're still working out the schedule for the show. We'll figure that out, and then we'll have the schedule ready next time we come back. We're not going to have a live show next week. We're going to release a couple of videos next Friday. I think next Friday or Saturday. But so stay tuned for that. Make sure you have that notification bell on so you don't miss those uploads, because those are going to be some good ones. We're talking CFP 27 and Madden 27 and what's going on with them. You can also find me on Mondays over at the Maze Out Sports Show for Maze Out Mondays, where I produce the show. Sometimes they let me stay up, but most importantly, I host the Lich Picks segment, which is everyone's favorite segment, other than everything that came before it. You can find me over there every Monday with the Maze Madman, Old Man on the Sticks, and the Maniac himself. As for this show, we're getting out of here. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy the Natty, enjoy the NFL playoffs, and remember, this is where the game is really played. Have a good one.
Go Blue.
From joystick dreams to Friday night lights, it's controllers and cleats under podcast mics with Life Max dropping deep like he's throwing a bomb, and Kinetik calling audible, staying calm in the storm. From the field to the sticks, yeah, we bring the heat. With Kinetik and Leash Max, never miss a beat. When the final whistle blows or the credits roll, we're signing off strong, that's our gamers take control. Catch us on the sideline, where legends chill, where the playbooks flip and the passion's real. If you heard the takes, then you know the drill. Till next time, fam, keep it clutch, keep it skill. From the field to the sticks, yeah, we bring the heat. With Kinetik and Lich Max, never miss a beat. When the headset's off and the lights go low, we'll be back next game, y'all already know. We out.